So Michael Bueno making his way to the cage, the 27-year-old fighting, again, another Team Santos El Nino Training Center fighter. The Orthodox fighter was actually, he has the honor of being the first fighter we've ever covered here on the Solano College Sports Network. He won his match against Vic Fregoso back in 2016. So maybe a good luck charm for him to be broadcasted for a second time. Brian Nelson, Brandon Kyle here with the broadcast of this lightweight bout. As you see, Joe Crop in the corner of yet another fighter.
Yeah, another Santos guy. I expect to see kind of more of the same here. Kind of same build. They're all kind of built like Joe. Tall, lanky. Michael started with jiu-jitsu, fell in love with the sport, and wanted to kind of test himself more. Decided to start competing in MMA, and like I said, those Santos guys are all kind of coming along right now. Last couple of years since Joe kind of took over the scene, you got this young crop, and this happens. You get a successful fighter, and he kind of lights a fire with your younger program. Guys see him winning these belts, they want to be like him, and of course, just like Joe, they're fighting for a great organization here with Bay Area Combat, and excited to see what this other Team Santos guys got in store for us.
Maybe they can be called the Crop Scott Crop.
Yeah.
As Michael Bueno's opponent, Tauhid Safi, coming in at the age of 30 from Fremont, California. His team is max self-defense, but also trains with AKA. The lightweight as an Orthodox fighter comes in with a record of 2-5. So a lot of fights under his belt at the age of 30, but not as much success as he would like.
Yeah, this is kind of a point, where somebody's trying to figure out if this is something they want to do or not. You're 30, you're 2-5. It's one of those things where, this could be a hobby. If you're going to try to make it a career, this is the point. This is going to be the turning point. So this is going to be an important fight for him to see, what his future holds in the sport here.
And athletically, 30 is pretty much in your prime as a fighter, is it not? What would you say was like the prime age range?
Athletically, it's tough, because with advances now, 15 years ago, you'd say 25 is somebody's prime. But the way things are working now, guys are performing like they're 25, well into their mid, even late 30s. I think 30 is a good age because you have a mix of athletic ability and all those things that youth has, but you also have a greater wealth of knowledge, experience, 7 fights, he knows what's going on in there. And so, it's kind of time for him to either put it all together or not. So this is going to be a big fight for him, I think. I think he probably has a lot of self-pressure to really perform well, wants to go out there, do well. He's working with AKA now. So I'm excited to kind of see, what produces out of that. Obviously, he's not has that stellar record, but he does have the experience.
We'll send it over to Jim Cooley for the official introduction.
160 pounds. The man in charge when the action begins, John Toll. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, hailing from San Lorenzo, California. He weighed in at 160 pounds even, representing Team Santos and the El Nino Training Center, Michael Bueno. His opponent across the cage in the red corner, hailing from Fremont, California. He represents AKA and weighed in at 159 pounds, Tauhid Safi.
So we're set for 3 2-minute rounds. Brian Nelson here with Brandon Kyle on the Solano College Sports Network. This is the 4th fight in this 13-fight card here for Bay Area Combat North Bay Face-Off 2, as we are set. As Bueno lands on the left jab, another left jab.
Oh,
and catches him with the right.
Already caught him. Let's see if Safi.
Oh, great leg lock. Maybe going for a heel hook and great scramble
like
by Bueno.
Walked over. They're playing the leg lock game, but realizing amateurs, they can't do twisting leg locks here. So he can only do a straight leg lock. So he's got to be careful here. He could get disqualified if he pulls the wrong maneuver here. He's got to be real careful with how he's using those legs.
Bueno keeping his composure, but going for the heel hook, he's close to it.
Now they're allowed to do straight ankle locks, but they're not allowed to do twisting ankle locks. I'm surprised that he's allowing him to go that far with that.
Yeah, but Bueno slips free.
Safi gets on top. He's looking already to start throwing up guard and look for submissions. But man, good scramble to get out of there from Safi. I have to admit, he showed composure after getting rocked.
Yeah, he was in trouble after that right hook by Bueno, and now Bueno trying to work from the bottom position. Very flexible fighter. At 6'1" is Michael Bueno.
Yeah, length in jiu-jitsu is nice, especially when you're on the bottom. You can throw up triangles and arm bars and use those long legs to really create space between your hips. But Safi's doing a good job of hugging you. He's at AKA, and all these guys that are training at AKA, they're training out there with Khabib and Daniel Cormier. That's going to increase your top control for sure, training with guys like that. And you can see he's using that increased top control to hold down Michael Bueno right now in this first round.
So while he is in top position, he's not really scoring with any sort of punches. How are the judges seeing this specific ground situation?
Basically, it works like this. I've noticed, now all judges are different, but if you're on top and the guy's not really threatening you with any submissions, they're going to consider that winning. If the guy is almost getting a guillotine, almost getting a triangle, they might give that to the guy on the bottom. That little exchange, that little takedown really slowed the fight down. Bueno came out, rocked him, looked like it could have ended fast, but Safi did what he had to do. But now, maybe he, in that survival mode, burned out all his juice, and now we're going to see, because Bueno's got him mounted, he's got him stretched out, but again, 2-minute rounds, Brian, so short time to work here. Again, gets him off.
Transition for a leg lock, potentially, as Bueno trying to slip free before the time is up.
Not
and
a lot
a little
of time
back
left
fist.
Here. Can't be much time left in this round.
Yeah, and maybe this is a error from the timekeeper, because our clock says that the 2-minute round has ended, but potentially there's some sort of error here. I'm not sure if it's our broadcast or the fight itself, but
you know what? These guys both have over 4 fights, so they might have bumped up to 3-minute rounds here.
Okay.
Once you have more experience, they do allow the rounds to go on a little bit longer to resemble more of a professional round, which is 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll adjust our clocks accordingly as Bueno gets a couple shots in at the end of round 1. So a back and forth. Bueno catches Safi early. Safi really positioning for a leg lock or a ankle lock and ending up on top for that middle portion of the round. Then it's kind of up for grabs after that.
That was a tough round to score. Bueno gets the knockdown. It was kind of a flash knockdown. People start talking about 10-8 rounds and whatnot. I don't think that was a devastating knockdown where you knock somebody, almost knock them out, and they somehow survive. That's when they usually give you a 10-8. That looked like a flash. He was able to recover, threaten a leg lock, get on top for the majority of the round. Bueno was able to get back up, get back on top, get mount. Didn't last long, though. That's one of those rounds that's tough. That's 50-50. I'd hate to be a judge in that round just because it went back and forth so seamlessly. No one really had a clear edge, but that knockdown might have gave Bueno just a slight edge in some of those judges' eyes.
And when you have such a close round as a fighter, does it give you motivation to have a clear winner of round 2?
You got to turn it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Brian. You got to turn it up. Both of these guys' camps probably in the corner said, hey, man, that could have gone either way. We got to win round 2 right now.
Oh, great uppercut, and that is it.
Over, guys.
Michael Bueno.
It is over with one big hook. He took one unnecessary hammer fist. The referee was there as soon as he could, but it was such a vicious, quick knockout. Oh, my gosh. Ooh-wee.
We're in the process, folks, of replaying that vicious knockout from Michael Bueno, but with one swift uppercut in round 2, this fight is over, and it is a very Bueno day here in Napa, California for Michael Bueno.
Muy bueno for Michael Bueno on that one, guys.
And we will show you the start of round 2.
Doesn't take long here. Boom! And that was it. That secondary shot was unnecessary.
Take your seats, please.
And with that crazy knockout, I think fans were leaving their seats a little bit. And
yeah, you got to keep
the excitement.
Keep them in check here. But, you can understand their excitement with a knockout like that, Brian. I mean, you don't see that. You go to UFC shows, you don't see knockouts like that. So to be at a show like this, at this level, and to see guys performing like that, you're damn right people are going to be excited.
Yeah, what a flush shot by Michael Bueno. improves his record to 3-2 as Tawhid Safi suffers his 6th loss in his amateur career. There you get a look at Safi getting a little bit dazed. You can see in his eyes, maybe not all there.
Definitely. Well, I tell you what, Safi wasn't doing any head movement, Brian. He was just standing there with a taller guy throwing straight shot for straight shot. Now, if a guy's got 3-4 inches of reach advantage on you, that is not a good technique. You gotta be moving your head. You gotta be making the bigger, longer guy miss, and then closing the distance and landing your shorter shots. To sit there and stand 1 for 1 and 1, 1 and 2 with a guy like that, that was bound to happen. Bueno came in with that uppercut, and the chin was there to be hit, and it only took one. You can't blame Bueno for running in there and taking that second shot. Hey, the ref is there to stop the fight. What if the guy looked up and sat up and grabbed the leg like you did last time, So nothing dirty there. He's doing his job, until the ref stops it. He's there to keep fighting, and that's what he did right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Bueno finishing this fight in the 2nd round, and that's 2-0 for Team Santos here at Bay Area Combat North Bay Face-Off 2 here at Napa Valley Expo. What a heck of a card so far. If this is what we're in store for the rest of the night, folks, you're in for a treat. 4 title fights coming up, including the 155, 170, 205 titles for Bay Area Combat, as well as the Camo State Championship at 205 in the light heavyweight division. Really exciting card for you. 3 unbelievable knockouts so far as well.
Man, I tell you what, this if you saw those 3 fights sprinkled into a 10-fight, 13-fight card, you'd leave saying, man, there's some good. Yeah, that was good. Saw 3 KOs. You see those in the first 3 fights, and you only start to imagine what's going to happen in the last 10 fights. Wow. Yeah. Again, great matchmaking. Safi looked like he came in with a plan. He looked like he's tough, but he just wasn't being very smart on his feet.
Yeah, we'll send it over to Jim Cooley with the official announcement.
Round number 2. Referee Kane Vandal has called a stop to this contest. Your winner via knockout, Michael Bueno.
So Michael Bueno gets his 3rd career victory in the lightweight division. And coming up next, we have another lightweight bout with Anthony Guerin facing Eugenio Garcia coming up next.